Oh, hey guys, welcome to the Wag Station. I'm your host, Gen Z himself, and you caught me while I was decorating my video game Christmas tree here. But since I already have you here, I'm going to be talking about the first video game I'd ever owned. This is the first game I ever owned. New Super Mario Bros. For the original Nintendo DS. It's the first 2D Mario game after the big 3D craze. And what was the last 2D Mario game? Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins for Game Boy. That's a long time. Kind of. Well, let's see what's super new about this game. Bowser Jr. kidnapped Peach instead of Bowser, and it does this for the rest of the game. That's new! Now, just like Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World, this game has a world map. It's not interconnected like Super Mario World. It's more like Super Mario Bros. 3 swapping in between a different theme of the world kind of thing. You got grass, desert, beach, an unlockable forest, snow, mountain, an unlockable sky, and the volcano, or Bowser Land, whatever you want to call it, Dark Land, I don't care. Call it whatever you want! Well, is there anything new about the power-ups? Yeah, there is. Other than your basic mushroom, fire, flower, and star, you got the blue shell, which lets Mario have a shell, and you're able to control it like how a Koopa Troopa would do when you throw a shell. So it's basically kind of like a throwable shell that you can use at your disposal at any time. But you sort of throw yourself, so maybe it's not really that good. But hey, you can jump with the shell, that's kind of cool. Next we got the Mega Mushroom. The big gimmick on this game, because of the box art, it just turns Mario big for a couple of seconds, and if you destroy enough things around on the stage, you get some free 1-ups. Then the complete opposite in height, the Mini Mushroom. It shrinks Mario, and you're able to find exclusive secrets, like smaller pipes that Mini Mario can enter. You can walk on water with it. You also have a more floaty jump. But in order to defeat bosses, for example, you now have to ground pound them to just do one hit, which kind of sucks. But hey, this is how you can unlock extra worlds! Wow, that's new! Now wanna know what else is new in this game? New moves for Mario! You got the triple jump, ground pound, and wall jump, all coming from the 3D titles, now perfectly work fine in 2D games. And honestly, this is a pretty cool addition. Now we can't live without wall jumps in a 2D Mario game. Nice job. Actually, no, that's not a bad thing. And we also get star coins. They're kind of like the dragon coins from Super Mario World, but instead of having to collect 5 and get a 1-up, which at that point is just kind of useless, you have to find 3 per stage, and you're able to use these star coins to unlock new levels, toad houses, secret exits, stuff like that. So the star coins basically have a purpose in this game, more than the dragon coins did in Super Mario World, obviously. Okay, at this point, the amount of times that I'm rephrasing things, it's just adding more to the watch time. That's definitely not the reason at all. Now next, for me personally, this is one of the best parts of this game. The boss fights. This game has some of the most original boss fights out of every other 2D Mario game. Because most of the other 2D Mario games just use the Koopalings or Bowser Jr. repeated, dang it, this game has Bowser Jr. repeated. But only in the tower levels. The castle levels have the greatest original boss fights of all times. Except for Petey Piranha, that's not really a new thing. But the fact that Petey Piranha is here in a 2D game is so freaking cool. And then my personal favorite boss is this Monty Mole boss fight in a tank. That one I think is just kind of cool. And then of course you got your regular Bowser fights, but Bowser fights are Bowser fights. And the final boss is just a Bowser fight with a Bowser Jr. fight. And I got tired of Bowser fights, so I just used a Mega Mushroom to defeat Bowser Jr. and Bowser. But now that I beat the game, I get to play as Luigi by pressing L, R, and A on the save file. Yes! Well, now that I beat the game, what can I do now? Holy shit, minigames! Yes, this game comes with minigames. Sure, they ported over from Mario 64 DS, but who cares? This is the best of Super Mario 64 DS minigames. Instead of having alternative versions of the same minigame, it's just the best difficulty out of each minigame. And they're all unlocked from the start, unlike having to unlock all of them separately in Mario 64 DS. And these minigames are so great. Just open up the game, pop in, gamble away all your money. Yes, Luigi Casino. This is when my gambling addiction started. Sure, that's a bad thing, but it's Luigi. It's a good thing. Maybe. But also pretty good highlights of the minigame collections is this Wanted minigame, which is always fun. It's pretty easy if you got good reaction times. Then I also think that this trampoline Mario thing was pretty cool as a kid. And now. It's probably because it uses the touchscreen. But now that I highlighted the minigames, what do I do now? Fuck! Yes! Mario vs. Luigi is the greatest multiplayer versus mode of all times. I don't care what anyone says here. This is just freaking amazing. It's pretty simple. It's Mario against Luigi. And you just have to collect the most stars, and whoever collects the most amount of stars needed to beat the stage wins. You get to choose how much you want, 5, 10, whatever you want. And then you're able to use power-ups against each other, like throwing fireballs at each other. You drop stars. You can jump on each other and just send each other into bottomless pits. You can use blue shells on each other and make you lose all of your power-ups. You can ground pound each other and lose 3 of your stars, and it's just super annoying, but it's the greatest experience of all times. And these maps are fucking incredible. You got Grassland, which is absolute peak. Even though that it says Grassland, it's literally just little snippets of 1-1 from Super Mario Brothers. Just the most iconic parts, I guess. And then you got Bricks, which is what I'm gonna turn my bedroom into one day. It's a super small map that's just made out of bricks, and it's taking place underground, and it's really funny when you have a Mega Mushroom and you just fall through the ground because it's made out of bricks. And sure, maybe having a small map might be bad, but in this game mode, it's absolutely amazing. And then you got the Fortress. Sure, it's probably one of the weaker ones to me personally, but it's still really cool. There's this secret little hidden section that you can use only with a mini mushroom, so you can just hide out there if you're an absolute chicken. And the ceiling slowly lowers and then slowly rises back up. It's a cool little gimmick, but it can take a while for matches to start really getting going in the map. And then you got the Ice Map. Ice Map is kind of like the Fortress map. It's kind of a little bit weaker. It's a lot more open than the other maps, but having a more open map here is not really that bad, because this one has a blue Koopa Troopa that always gives you a blue shell, and I really like it. And then, pipes. Fuck yes. This is the greatest map in New Super Mario Bros. Mario vs. Luigi. Hands down. Sure, it's just a bunch of pipes, but the way that the pipes are set up is great. You can wall jump onto this little part and you can just head up on the ceiling. Sure, it's a waste of time and there's nothing there, but that's cool! But with that, that's New Super Mario Bros. This game is really underrated. But I bet the reason why most people don't really want to come back to this game is because it started a revolution. Before Super Mario Bros. Wonder came out, this is when the New Super Mario Bros. Series started. And not gonna lie, the New Super Mario Bros. Series for me, I always found to be fun. But this one just hits different compared to the rest because it's the most original, and because we weren't expecting another New Super Mario Bros. Game after this game, because we all thought that this was just gonna be a new Super Mario Bros. Game, and we're expecting the next game to just be Super Mario Bros. Commits tax evasion, or whatever the next entry was gonna be. But after New Super Mario Bros., we got New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which was the sequel. Then you got New Super Mario Bros. 2, which is another sequel, but it's the actual true sequel. Then you got New Super Mario Bros. U, which came out only a couple months after New Super Mario Bros. 2. And it was a launch title for the Wii U, and that's probably one of the reasons that it failed, because it didn't have its own technically original Mario game. After New Super Mario Bros. Wii, these games just all felt the same, and I feel like that's what people think with even the first entry, even though that it's the most original, and I want people to experience this one out of them all, because it's the most underrated. Sure, it might be my bias speaking to me because it's the first game I ever owned, but please play it. It has great bosses. It has the best of Mario 64 DS minigames. It has the greatest multiplayer versus game of all times. And the only reason nobody plays it is because it's called New Super Mario Bros. And with that, that was New Super Mario Bros. This game will always be very, very special to me, as it was my first video game I ever owned, personally. But it just kinda sucks that this game doesn't get looked back on like games like Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World, because it's part of the new Super Mario Bros. Series, and everyone stopped caring as soon as the game was getting pushed a little bit too much. But I'd say, personally, this new Super Mario Bros. Entry should be the one that should not be skipped out on. But, yeah. Well, I hope you all have a great Christmas this year. And if you do end up getting video games as presents, I sure hope it's not this.